Hey Mixers, welcome back to another NFL video. We're going to cover the Thursday game in this video. We're coming off a decent week, really good week on the player props, decent week overall. So let's just jump into that. All right, guys, so just a quick little look at what I feel like is going to happen in the game in general. I like the under 43.5. I liked Arizona when they were an underdog when this first came out. So I like them even more now. I liked them as a favorite, and I like them even more now as an underdog. So I'm on the Arizona money line side of things, the Arizona plus 1.5. Now, so the Seahawks have won the last 7 head-to-head games between these two teams. And on paper, or like overall, I do think Seattle has looked better. But I do like the Cardinals here at home. They do play better at home, possibly because of that dome. I'm not sure, but Kyler does play better at home, a lot better. Totals in Arizona have been super high, 48, 41, 52, 68. But I do like the under here because this is defense going up against defense. Those are the units that matter on these two teams, in my opinion. The units that have looked the best, I guess, is what I should say. And then the spreads in Arizona have been 12-1, 10 and 8. So, relatively not close. Like Seattle has won, basically. But I do like the Arizona to win this one. So money line probably is the best bet. I cannot bet on that in my state, and I did not place that bet when I went out of town earlier this week. So I will not be on that, but that is what I like. I like a 20-17 matchup here, and it is probably going to be decided by a field goal or, close to it. So keep that in mind. I don't like a lot of the props in this game because, like I said, I like the under. But I do have a couple leans for you. So the first one here is going to be Kyler Murray over 210.5 passing yards. He has done this in the past 3 head-to-heads. So he had 262, 285, and 259. Obviously, he was losing all of those games, and I do expect them to be winning this time. But I do think it's going to be a lot of back and forth. So I don't think that Arizona is going to run away with it. And I think it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough one. So this is why I like it. The 3 quarterbacks that have faced Seattle already, they had 203, 277, and 218. So it's probably going to be pretty tight. I mean, this is not a home run, which is why it's not a best bet. It's just a lean. Now, if you're new to my videos, when I have a lean instead of a best bet, that just means it's risky or I might or might not bet it. I will tell you I have already bet this one. So normally I do bet my leans, but not always. So a lean is, it could be less of a payout. It could be because it's risky. It could be a number of things. So I will try and tell you whenever I do that. The next one I have here, sorry, I went the wrong way there. The next one I have here for you is Torrey Horton over 21.5 receiving yards. This one is just a play on, it's risky. So Torrey Horton over 21.5 receiving yards. He had 0 targets and 0 catches in their first game. And then he's done this on just a couple catches in the past 2 games. He's had 4 targets in both games. And he caught, I think, 2 balls and 3 balls to get this. But he hit 32 yards exactly both of the last 2 games. So I just like him to get a couple more looks. I think they're going to continue to try to develop him. I do think that the slot against Arizona is a vulnerable spot for Arizona. So JSN should have plenty of catches. Cooper Kupp should have plenty of catches. But I'm going to go with a couple catches for this guy on the outside, Torrey Horton. All right, so those are the best bets. I do also like kind of Cooper Kupp for almost plus 300 for a touchdown. I think that's like sneaky good value for Cooper Kupp. And we're probably going to get a receiving touchdown here. And I don't think it's going to be a long one. I don't think that JSN is going to necessarily take it 40 yards for a touchdown. I think we see something more like 10 yards out. And that's where Cooper Kupp is going to really shine. He has not had a touchdown so far this year. He's not had a touchdown, obviously, on the Seahawks. And so I do think they kind of look his way a little bit in this one because they haven't really been throwing it to the tight ends either. Now, their pass-catching tight end was out in the last game. And I don't really like A.J. Barner, their other tight end, to really catch a touchdown here. So I think that's good value for Cooper Kupp. Let me know what you think in the comments. And this is a short one. Sorry about that. Normally by this time, I have a bunch of early player props out, and I don't. I've been looking at them, and there's nothing I love. There's like 5 or 6 that I'm thinking about, but nothing that I wanted to jump on early, which is kind of weird. So this is going to be a weird week. I might consider betting a little bit lighter this week than you have in the past, because I do not like a lot of the matchups that we have on the schedule here. All right, that's it. Thanks, guys.